Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. So a couple of months ago, I tried out an eyeshadow palette from Five Below. It was this one right here. It's called the Heat Wave by Color Story palette, and it was basically a copycat of the Urban Decay Heat palette. And honestly, this surprised me. For $5, I expected a pretty terrible palette with no pigmentation, but some of the shades were not that bad. So I thought I would try out another palette from Five Below. It just so happens to be the same brand, Color Story, and it's called the In Bloom palette. As far as I know, it's not a copy of another brand's palette like this one is. It tries to match the same shades. I couldn't find anything with a similar name or a similar color combination, so I think it's just their idea. I'm not entirely positive, but I couldn't find anything else. The best thing about this palette is that it is only $5, Five Below. You won't find anything over $5. If you're excited for this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, you can hit the subscribe button. Now let's move on to the review. So this is what the palette looks like. It's a very summery looking palette. You have a lot of pinks and reds, orange and yellow. Everything is flower names. So you have like cherry blossom and marigold, calla lily. It's a really pretty palette. You have the petals up here. So I'm thinking with the color options that I have of maybe trying out a sunset eye. Doesn't really go along with the shirt I'm wearing, but there's a nice selection of oranges, yellows, and reds. So I think that would be the best option unless I wanted to do like purple and pink. Sweet Pea up here. That is a really pretty color. I'm trying natural light out again for this video. I used it on my previous video and I'm pretty sure I like it more than when I use my ring light. I think it gives a more realistic look. When I use my ring light, sometimes it just washes me out and makes everything look a lot lighter than it actually is in person. All right, I think I'm going to start off with this orange shade, Marigold. Okay, that's some decent pigmentation, honestly. I know this is just like the first shade, but that looks pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to tape so I don't get a little too crazy. I don't want to go too far outside of the proper area now that I look a little bit crazier. This is blending out pretty smoothly. Honestly, I have got to say I am impressed so far. This is really a lot better than the other palette, the Heat Wave. Okay, that shade was beautiful. It blended out easily. It was pretty pigmented. I didn't even have to spray my brush, which is something I have to do like with my Morphe palette sometimes. Okay, next with the same brush, I'm going to go in the darker orange shade Maple. And I'm putting that slightly below where I put the original orange. That shade blended out pretty nicely as well. So far so good. I think I might try and do a cut crease to see how the luster shadows work out. That's where I'm going to put the yellow. Oh my goodness. My eyes are extra twitchy today. Probably doesn't help that I just drank a lot of iced coffee. Okay, I'm going to take the yellow shade Daffodil on my finger. I'm going to apply that to my lid. Ooh. Okay, that yellow shade is pretty creamy and it has decent pigmentation. I'd say the luster have a little bit less pigmentation than the mattes, but it's still doable. It applies pretty nicely with the finger. Okay, now I'm going to take it on a brush. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with the original Marigold, the first orange I started off with, and blend that a little bit back over the yellow. I love this orange shade. That blends out so well. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is what I have so far. I think it's blending out pretty well. I will say the yellow is a little bit more powdery than I prefer. I'm used to the very creamy, shimmery shades in a Morphe palette or in the LA Girl palette I have. It's definitely not bad. It's just not my favorite. But I definitely still plan on using this. Like, that shade is really pretty well pigmented. Okay, I'm gonna take these off, maybe. Ooh. That tape's a little bit too good. Okay, next I'm going to take the red shade Primrose on my e.l.f. C brush. Okay, so the red shade doesn't seem to be as highly pigmented as the other shades, so I am going to wet my brush for this one. So that is getting a little bit better pigmentation, but it's not blending out very well. Let me try a different brush, see if that works. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like the same formula as the orange shades. Honestly, I feel like a good red shade is hard to come by. Okay, so that is not blending out very well, so I'm going to go back in with Maple, the deeper orange shade, and try and blend this together a little bit. Okay, that seems to be helping a little bit, but it doesn't seem like this red shade wants anything blended on top. It's a really finicky shade. Kind of threw a wrench into this whole look. Okay, I'm also gonna add in some of this luster orange shade. It's called Daylily. Seems like it's a pretty similar formula to the yellow. Well, that's pretty. All the orange shades seem to be the best in the palette. Okay, so since the red matte shade didn't really work on my eyelid, I'm going to try it on an angled brush and see how it works as an eyeliner. And I'm using my angled brush from AOA Studios. Okay, it's still not the most pigmented, but it's at least working better than it did on my lid. Okay, I'm gonna bring this all the way in. Okay, it required some building up for sure, but this is what it looks like underneath my eye. I'm gonna take Marigold and just kind of blend that line out a tiny bit. Okay, next I'm going to take this lighter luster shade, it's called Calla Lily, and put that in my inner corner. Okay, that shade's not bad. I'm also going to hit my upper brow bone. That. Okay, so this is the finished eyeshadow. Got a little bit messy in the outer corner because the red really doesn't like to blend well with the other eyeshadows. It kind of creates a patchy base when I try to apply something on top of it. I have some yellow eyeliner I think I'm going to put on, see how that looks. So I will be right back. Okay, so for eyeliner I used my NYX Vivid Brights in Vivid Halo, and then I used my CYO London Wonder Wand mascara. I got this in an Ipsy bag. This is the finished look. Alright, so I must say I am very pleasantly impressed with this palette. With the Color Story Heatwave palette, I was impressed because it was better than I thought it would be for that price. However, the In Bloom palette just impresses me regardless of price. For the Heatwave palette, I don't think I would spend more than $5. However, for this, the quality seems to be much better. Aside from the red shade Primrose, it blends out super nicely, good pigmentation, and the color selection is also just really pretty. Like you have some beautiful oranges, some really nice bubblegum pinks. You even have some like neutral foresty ginseng. Ooh. Ginseng is, ooh, beautiful. That is a really beautiful pigmented copper tone. Wow. Let's try some of these else out. Okay. Nice bronzy. Ooh, okay. So that one, also kind of like the red shade, seems a little bit patchy. That is really beautiful. The luster shades are really powerful, really beautiful. Okay, so I just realized I never put on a lip color, so I added my Nars crayon in Cruella. Where was I? Okay, so yeah, a lot of these swatch really beautifully. Like I could definitely see these formulas being in a product you could buy at Ulta. Like it would definitely be drugstore, but this seems actually good. I didn't really expect that from something you can buy at Five Below. Since Five Below isn't like a makeup store, they have all kinds of different things. I expected it to just be, you know, like the kind of stuff you would buy for your daughter if she's like playing with makeup, your young daughter. But I can definitely see myself using this palette in the future not even for a video, just in every day. Well, not every day because I don't do these kind of wild colors to work. However, I don't really have any other pinks like this, so I'm really excited to use this in the future. So if you are at Five Below and you see this palette, I definitely recommend trying it out. I think it is well worth your money, and if I remember correctly, I think they had a couple other options like this that were the Color Story brand and the cardboard. The Metal Heatwave palette, it was good for the price, but I think they really improved the formulas for the cardboard palette. I don't know if they just redid all of their eyeshadows or they just put more money into this, but I noticed a huge difference between this and the other palette. I think that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked this video and found it helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, you can hit the subscribe button. I upload every week. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.